Good Thursday morning, everyone, and welcome to KSAT News Now. Thanks for being with us as we podcast and stream Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. from the KSAT 12 newsroom. How's it going this morning, Priscilla?
It's going well, and it's pretty lively in the newsroom today.
Yeah, definitely. And before we actually begin with KSAT News Now, we have a little bit of breaking news that just came into our newsroom just a few minutes ago.
Yes, so we want to quickly mention District 10 Councilman Clayton Perry has officially announced he's not going to be running for re-election. And that announcement, like RJ just said, it was made within the last 10 minutes or so.
That's right. Clayton Perry there is currently facing a charge of DWI, and we've been covering this story following his arrest late last year. Today's announcement coming at a crucial time because the deadline to file for candidacy in the May election is tomorrow. So this is something that we had been following for some time. Garrett Berger, who's out there at City Hall covering this for us, he tweeted out a statement from Councilman Perry saying that he felt that the time has come for him to step aside and continue to ensure his neighbors are the priority. Anything less could be a distraction from the work that still needs to be done to move District 10 forward.
Yeah, and so I think you mentioned there might be already maybe one candidate for District 10, but being that tomorrow is that deadline, we'll see if, another number of people go ahead and try and put their names into that race.
Yeah, and again, this is something that just came down within the last 10-15 minutes or so, and Garrett Berger is covering the very latest for us there from City Hall, and we'll have more details coming up throughout the day.
Yeah, so we're going to switch topics really quickly, but if you like to watch movies, a little bit later in the show, we're going to tell you how you could get paid to watch one particular genre.
Oh yeah, definitely. And there are some tearjerkers here in this movie rundown here. So we'll talk about that in just a little bit. And a pretty scary situation here that we reported on last night. If you live near Highway 90 and Frio City Road, San Antonio police need your help. They're trying to find someone who's believed to have attacked two women on the side of the road. So we'll explain how you can help them out and more details on what was a pretty crazy story there out in that part of town.
Yeah, definitely. We'll get more into that. But first, we want to get right to the top story today. So right now, an investigation is underway following a deadly shopping mall shooting in El Paso. We know two men are in custody after a shooting inside the Cielo Vista Mall. One person was killed, 3 others were injured.
Yeah, another sad situation there out in West Texas. Investigators say that shots rang out yesterday near the food court in that area, and we always know that's a pretty busy area any time of the day. An off-duty officer working security at the time reacted quickly and within minutes had one person in handcuffs.
So the incident happened just minutes away from the Walmart where 23 people lost their lives in a shooting from 2019. Right now, a motive is unknown, but San Antonians here, we are stepping up to help those affected by last night's shooting. A team of mental health professionals from the Ecumenical Center is headed there to El Paso right now.
Yeah, and we just got that information this morning as well. So officials there have asked for the center's help in providing trauma support for the survivors, victims, relatives as well, and others connected to the shooting. And if you're watching us right now on KSAT.com or KSAT Plus, you're seeing some video that I believe was posted on social media, right, from inside the mall when everything kind of went down there. And yeah, this is pretty scary stuff. So I was born and raised in El Paso, and so I immediately started getting texts from family members, my mom saying that she basically couldn't believe that this was happening again and again within literally feet from where that other shooting happened, that mass shooting happened 4 years ago.
Yeah, no. Are you familiar with that mall?
I am, yeah. I went there many times growing up. So it's a little bit of an older mall in El Paso. I think it's one of the first malls that was ever built there. But yeah, it's still a place that a lot of people go to. Still a very busy area, busy part of the city. So very scary stuff. And I was reading through a couple of articles. They said that they talked to some people there that said that it just brought back bad memories from 4 years ago, and yeah, that it was a chaotic scene in there. People were fleeing, they were scared, as you could imagine. Just some scary stuff there.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing that we do have these resources now that we're able to send over there. I know that sometimes it feels probably nothing can really get people through this, but it's a good thing that we have someone that's going over. We have a team, they're going to help them. But yeah, like you said, it's just really scary for you.
Very, very traumatic there. So this shooting in El Paso, of course, happening just days after mass shooting there at Michigan State University.
This morning, police in Michigan released new information about the shooter, 43-year-old Anthony McRae. Police say 2 guns, additional magazines, and ammunition were found with McRae when officers located him dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound after those shootings.
All right, so police saying now that the guns found on McRae were purchased legally but were not registered. Police also say a note was found on him but did not release what that note said. Obviously trying to figure out just a motive here in this shooting.
Yes, so 3 students were killed in the shooting, 5 others were injured, and this morning police are saying all 5 are still in critical condition, but some are showing signs of improvement. So that's always good. We do want to definitely make sure that they are able to recover, and hopefully that's exactly what will happen.
Yeah, same situation here. I think they were like at the student union, right? And so there was on-campus shooting there, and again, the horrifying scene for all the people that were involved in this. And this one here, I was reading through CNN's article earlier. They're saying that there have been more than 70 mass shootings so far this year in the U.S., just this year, and we're in the middle of February. So definitely some scary stuff that's taking place there. And that was according to the Gun Violence Archive.
Yeah, and some of the details on this shooting, as well as the one in El Paso, they're still going to be coming out over the next couple of days, maybe even weeks. So we will definitely be sticking with all of that coverage and bringing it to you here on News Now, on KSAT.com, and in all of our newscasts.
Yeah. So definitely follow us for the latest updates here. Okay, so back here at home, this was a story that really has been getting a lot of people's attention, and so it involves San Antonio police. They're asking for your help finding a person who is suspected of trying to kidnap 2 women.
Yes, so this is very scary. 2 women say they pulled over on the side of Highway 90 over the weekend after they got a flat tire. While they were trying to call for help, they say a man parked on a nearby street. Harriman Place is what it is. He got out of his car. They say he offered to help, and soon after he started attacking them.
Yeah, so just imagine that. I mean, you're already like dealing with this situation where you're on the side of the road,
Yeah.
and then someone comes up who you think is going to help, which happens a lot. You know, a lot of people do like to help each other out in these types of situations, but in this case, that did not happen. So one woman here says that the adrenaline kicked in, and that once she was struck in the head with a tire iron, she said that she was able to shove this suspect, prompting him to run away. And the women got into their car and actually drove to the hospital on that flat tire. So just very scary stuff there.
So scary. So the woman hit with the tire iron in the attack actually had to get 7 staples, 4 stitches, and she also suffered a concussion. That is just crazy to even imagine.
Yeah.
So if you do live in the area of the attack, again, this is Harriman Place and Highway 90, the women and SAPD are asking you to send in any ring videos that you might have to get this person caught.
And this suspect, they say, was about 5'3" tall, so not very tall individual here, mainly spoke Spanish, and was driving an older model gold Nissan, and that was according to the police report. And in that video, you could see that these 2 individuals here were actually going door to door themselves, asking for neighbors to provide any sort of ring video. They got a little bit of it, which was that sort of blurry one that we see there at the top of the video, but yeah, really scary stuff, because I don't know if you've ever been stuck on the side of the road, if you've ever had a situation
I mean,
like
not
that.
for a flat. I've run out of gas one time, not proud.
That's happened to me.
Not proud.
It happens, yes.
But my initial thing was I just called my husband, but there's some cases where you don't have anyone to call, and the first person that comes by, you know, you're like, help. Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm a little cursed with vehicles. My vehicles have had a lot of trouble over the years. So I've gotten into situations where I've just kind of been stranded. Of course, it's probably different for a woman, but there's been people that have come up and helped me push my Jeep off the side of the road, and they've been very nice. So I can imagine this just horrified situation where you think that someone's coming to help you out, and it ends up being the complete opposite.
And I'm wondering if location has anything to do with this. Like, when you're on a highway, there's so many people kind of witnessing, I guess, passing by. So sometimes more than one person will stop, but it seems they were in a neighborhood area, so a little more secluded. Maybe this person felt he wouldn't get caught. I don't know, but so if you have that video, go ahead and send that into SAPD to help them find this person.
Absolutely. All right, so now we're moving on to some big changes coming to our airports here. In a little more than 5 years, you could be flying out of a brand new terminal.
Yes, so the new terminal is part of a $2.5 billion plan to update and expand the city's airport within its existing footprint.
The new terminal will go to the north of Terminal B. So that terminal is about 15% through the design phase. So we don't have much beyond some renderings that were given to us by airport officials, but we do know that we're getting a lot of new gates here, up to 17 new gates, and some of these renderings look pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, very modern look here.
And I mean, the sunset in this picture just gets me
Yeah.
too. So the city hopes to open the new terminal in 2028, and the rest of the airport plan includes connecting all 3 terminals and putting in a new transportation center as well.
Okay, yeah, so they're hoping to make this a global travel destination, San Antonio, that will sustain local and international travel up till 2040. So looking ahead here into the future, and obviously it's good for business, good for the airport, because there's been a few times I've actually had to drive to Austin to take a flight out of there, which was just like a direct flight out of Austin. Didn't have it here in San Antonio, so hopefully that changes here. But $2.5 billion, that's a lot of money to
Yeah,
be.
in some of our earlier reporting too, one of the spokespeople for the airport and this project said, it's not that if we build it, they will come, but we need to build it so that they can come, so that
Right.
we are able to handle, you know, more airlines, more flights, more departures, all of that stuff. So I'm wondering which airlines will be moved over there, or
Yeah.
if it'll be new ones. I don't really know.
Yeah, definitely be interesting to see maybe what comes our way. And they also said they're going to be expanding the concessions area, maybe adding some more like food options, get a little drink.
But
before
probably
work.
not. Probably not Chick-fil-A. Remember
Yeah,
that
probably
was the whole
not.
thing?
Yeah, that'll be something to definitely keep an eye out on. Well, Priscilla, okay, a
Yes.
lot of people keeping an eye out on this here. So there's a flash of light and a reported loud boom in McAllen last night, and this is in South Texas, the Rio Grande Valley. Had a lot of people worried, calling 911 for what they thought was an explosion, but it turns out it might be something else.
Yes, the Hidalgo County Sheriff saying he was told by, quote, federal partners that Houston Air Traffic Control received reports from 2 aircrafts that they saw a meteorite west of McAllen.
All right, so the National Weather Service also tweeted that the light and noise came from possible meteorite sighting, or meteor sighting. Let me get that right. See, Mia's nodding her head. Justin's over there giving a little bit of confirmation there. No official confirmation on the impact from this potential possible meteor has been confirmed. So they're still trying to figure this all out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Strange
It's the
things
boom for
happening in
me.
the
Yeah,
sky.
the explosion sounds, but
Yeah.
we'll see what comes of that investigation over the next few days. Yeah,
Right.
it's a meteor
Right,
until it hits
right,
the
let's-
ground.
there you go.
Then
There
it
you
becomes
go.
a meteorite,
Okay,
which
so it's-
again hasn't been confirmed
Right.
that it's hit the ground.
So it's an asteroid.
asteroid in space, then it turns into the meteor, Earth's
When it hits-
atmosphere,
okay.
and then meteorite when it hits the ground. When and if.
Right.
Because a lot of times they
Doesn't
actually don't hit the
usually.
ground. So there you go. There's your
Okay.
little space astronomy lesson on
Thank you,
meteors for the
Mia.
day. You're
I
welcome.
took one class
You're
in
welcome.
college on
Which, hey,
astrology. Hey, you know what?
And like
It
a lot of
didn't-
folks even say, like growing up, like, oh, meteorology, you study meteors all the time.
Oh.
No,
Oh, I never
mean,
thought
you
that,
know,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
yes, yeah, that's so.
Okay.
There you go, kind of doubling up on the meteor term for today. But yes, let's actually turn to some real meteorology
There
for
we
the
go.
day today. You do not need me to tell you that it's windy outside. Bad hair day, all in all. Walked outside this morning
Yeah,
and
it's very
just
windy.
there's wind
Hold
everywhere.
on to your hats,
Yes, hold on
everybody.
to your hats.
Yeah.
Today's definitely the day for that. Even still, this 11 a.m. hour, we're seeing wind gusts upwards of 25 to even 35 miles per hour at times. 35 over at SA International this hour. 33 mile per hour wind gusts in Bulverde. 31 in New Braunfels. 26 in Rio Medina. 29 over in Hondo out there in Medina County. Now, still going to be pretty gusty out there over the next several hours, but at least into this afternoon and especially this evening, we should see those wind gusts come down to maybe around 25 miles per hour. So it's still going to be breezy throughout the remainder of the day today and even into the overnight hours, but maybe not quite as bad as what we saw out there earlier this morning. But because we do have those gusty winds in place, all following that cold front that moved in last night, drier air, lower humidity also pumping back in. And of course, we still do have dry vegetation and grasses out there, the drought conditions in place as well. So combine all of those ingredients together, high fire danger temperature in the works this afternoon, especially for areas in pink. The National Weather Service has issued a red flag warning that will run through 4 p.m. this afternoon for all of those counties in pink, mainly our far western and then southern counties, but still pretty much for everybody just because it is dry out there. Probably a good idea to avoid outdoor burning throughout the remainder of the day. Temperature-wise, yesterday we got into the low 80s here in town. Some spots, Cotulla, got into the 90s. Our western counties did as well. Today, a whole different story thanks to that front that has moved in. We still do have some of that mid and upper level cloud cover in place right now, but I do think we will find more peaks of sunshine this afternoon. Temperature sitting at 50 degrees, a dew point of 25, so there's that drier air that is filtered in as well. As we head into this afternoon, temperatures now below average. So yesterday was hotter than average. Today is going to be below average in typical Texas fashion, right? We'll see those afternoon highs climb into the upper 50s, maybe a few low 60s, right around 60 degrees here in San Antonio, and then it will turn chilly if you are stepping out for any Thursday evening plans. We'll see those thermometers fall into the 40s after the sun goes down, and remember, it is still going to be breezy at times there, so that will also factor in a little bit of a wind chill. And speaking of which, overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning, we are expecting a light freeze in and around the San Antonio area. Around 32 right now is that forecast low here tonight. So it will be plenty cold stepping out for the Friday morning drive and drive to school, plus the wind chill there as well. Will feel like the 20s in some spots, so you're definitely going to want to bundle up. Highs are headed for the mid 50s, upper 50s again into our Saturday, into next week, guys. Warming temperatures yet again, more of a spring-like feel returns, low 70s transitioning to the 80s, and then we'll monitor for another front with maybe a small chance for rain heading into the middle of next week. So we got a little something for everybody yet again in the 7-day forecast.
It's like boom, boom, boom. It just keeps going higher and higher.
Exactly. And then another front comes in. Yeah, we're kind of in that transition period, the time of year where we see that happen.
All right. Thank you very much, Leah.
You bet.
I'm actually going out to the rodeo today, hopefully, to go see Randy Rogers. So I'm going to make sure to hold on to the cowboy hat there.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
It's perfect weather, though, for rodeo. So
yeah, here we go. Ready to roll there. But if you plan to stay in, here's a potential idea for any movie lover out there. Listen to this. You could get paid $1,000 to watch and review a couple of dog movies.
Yes. Petable.com is looking for a dog lover to watch 10 hours of dog movies and write a review of them. So here are the requirements for the job: a passion for dogs, love pet films, and 48 hours open in your calendar.
Here we go. And they're looking for the chief doggy flick officer. That's what they're calling it here. So Petable has also listed out some of the movies, including, that's going to be Scooby-Doo. I'm more of a Scrappy-Doo guy personally. Fox and the Hound, which is an all-time classic for me. Love that movie growing up. 101 Dalmatians, and much more as the couple of the other movies here.
The Dalmatians for me.
Yes. Okay. Snoopy Come Home is one of them. All right.
Well, if you're interested, you can apply online at petable.com. Applications are open until March 6th. So,
okay. Yeah. Do you have a favorite dog movie? Don't say Marley and Me.
I don't know. You're putting me on the spot, but I do like the Dalmatians.
Okay.
The new one too, the real life one.
Shout out to Todd and Copper, Fox and the Hound, one of the OGs Disney movies there. All right, guys. Thank you very much for being with us on KSAT News Now. We really appreciate it, and make sure to follow all the latest here. We're coming up with the news at noon.